Welcome to Sage Audio. Today we're covering how to make a clear mix start to finish. But first, if you have a mix that you need mastered, send it to us at sageaudio.com to receive a free mastered sample of it. Start with proper routing. Although this isn't the most exciting aspect of production, starting with good routing is important to achieving a clear mix. I'll group similar instruments together and change their outputs to buses. This way I can control an entire group's level or effects via one of these buses. Additionally, it lets me process tracks in multiple areas. For example, I can process the lead with specific effects, but process the entire bus with effects that sound good on the vocal group. Let's take a listen to the mix that we're going to be working on today.
Be a big love. I'm craving that you will stay. You're the ones to my breath.
Insert high-pass filters, maybe with a 200 Hz dip. The easiest way to create some clarity is to use some high-pass filters on the instruments, and maybe dip a little of roughly 200 Hz on the lows. You shouldn't do this on every instrument, just the ones that are making the mix sound muddy or the ones that don't need to occupy the lower frequency range. For example, if my synth pad is occupying 100 Hz, I may want to cut this out. Same thing could be said about acoustic guitars and other similar instruments. Let's take a listen to the mix with high-pass filters included. Saturate high frequencies. Saturation will control dynamics and add some harmonics. If you pick the right saturator, you can add a lot of clarity to an instrument. For this, you can use a frequency-specific saturator or use an exciter, which creates higher order harmonics higher up in the frequency spectrum. iZotope makes a good exciter, but there are definitely some other options out there. Let's take a listen to it. Real quick, if you want to see exclusive advanced videos, have priority response to your comments, and get some other future perks, consider joining our channel and becoming a member. Compress lead vocals. Although this seems obvious, having a dynamically controlled and upfront vocal is one of the best ways to create clarity in a mix. Since the vocal is the most identifiable instrument for the majority of listeners, it's important to have it be at the forefront of most mixes. Use a quicker attack, a release of about 40 milliseconds, and achieve about 6 dB of compression to create a controlled vocal. Then increase the gain to compensate for the attenuation. Let's take a listen.
Love you makes me anxious, wanna be a big love. I'm craving that you will stay. You're the ones to my breath. I can get out of my head.
Use an airband EQ. With controlled dynamics and the balanced EQ response, I'll use some airbands and high shelves to create a little more clarity where needed. Maybe on the vocal, I'll boost 12 kHz and up, or do something similar on the snare. I can even make this EQ mid-side to control the image. For example, I could create an airband on the side image to both brighten an instrument or group and to expand its stereo width. Let's take a listen to the effect.
City lights are on point. Do you like, this could be a treasure. By the way, you're precious. Love you makes me anxious, wanna be a big love. I'm craving that you will stay. You're the ones to my breath. I can get out of my head.
Use some binaural panning. Binaural panning lets you place instruments in a wider range than left and right panning, meaning you can take advantage of a wider array of space for your instrumentation. This shouldn't be used on very important instruments like the lead vocal or kick, but more on background instrumentation. So say a background effect is in the middle image and taking up too much space. I can use binaural panning to give all the instruments a little more room. Let's take a listen to it.
Now, city lights are on point. Do you? By the way, you're precious. I'm craving that you stay. You're the one who's still my prayer. I can get out of my head.
Low side cut on buses. Next on our buses, let's use a mid-side EQ to make sure our lowest frequencies are mono. So on the drum bus, I'll create a high-pass filter on the side image and cut up to above 80 Hz, in turn ensuring the low frequencies are only in the mid. This creates more room in the low end, causing a clearer and more driven and focused mix. Let's take a listen to it.
Now, city lights are on point. Do you like, this could be a treasure. By the way, you're precious. Love you makes me anxious. Wanna be a big love.
One more time, if you want to see exclusive advanced videos, have priority response to your comments, and get some other great future perks, consider joining our channel and becoming a member. High frequency, parallel, upward compression. Next up, let's try something a little experimental and send one of our buses to a parallel auxiliary track. On this track, I'll insert an EQ, cut up to about 4 kHz, and change the phase to a low latency linear phase setting to avoid phase cancellation later on. Then, I'll insert an upward compressor to increase the signal's level from the noise floor up. Using the fader, I'll blend this parallel track in with the mix. Let's take a listen to it.
Now, city lights are on point. Do you like, this could be a treasure. By the way, you're precious. Love you makes me anxious. Wanna be a big love. I'm craving that you stay. You're the one who's still my prayer. I can get out of my head.
Finish levels before exporting. Last up, we get to alter the balance between our instrument groups using the bus faders, maybe pulling down the bass a little to create some clarity, or increasing the level of the high frequency instruments to do the same. We can also adjust the individual instruments, making one stick out if needed. Whenever this balance is done, I'll bounce out my full mix as well as solo each bus and export those one by one as my stems. Let's take a listen to the finished mix.
Now, city lights are on point. By the way, you're precious. Be a big love. I'm craving that you stay. You're the one who's still my prayer. I can get out of my head.
If you have a mix that you need mastered, send it to us at sageaudio.com to receive a free mastered sample of it. Also, join and become a member for exclusive videos and content. Thank you so much for watching.